I have something for you.
You found them? Oh, you dear child. Let's take them straight to Albert. You'll come with me, won't you?
Of course, Mrs. Duplancy.
You know, the things I miss most about him are the things that used to annoy me. The click of his jaw as he chewed his sandwiches, leaving his tools all around the house. The way he'd never back down from an argument. He's just quiet at home now. Silence. The funny thing is, that's what he always craved. Peace and quiet. He were a good man, our Albert.
Sounds like he was. I'm so sorry.
Do you fear death, pet?
It's the part in between that concerns me most.
Whatever do you mean?
My father had an accident many years ago. Ever since, he's been in a state where he can neither speak nor move.
Oh, that does sound dreadful. I'm sorry, pet.
I believe his mind to still be active, but perhaps this is the worst of all fates. To be trapped in one's own body and unable to express oneself while the world continues around you. That is what I fear.
Maybe he'll get better one day.
I'd do anything to make it so. Those flowers look beautiful.
They do. Albert will be smiling down on us. Pet, I left me basket inside the church. You'll find some Bakewell puddings in there. You can have them.
Oh, you...
I insist. You've brought an ounce of happiness into my day, dear. It's only just that I return some.
Thank you, Mrs. Duplancy.
To be truthful with you, I was saving them for myself. I shouldn't be so selfish. Lord forgive me.
You're nothing of the sort.
I'll stay here with Albert a bit longer. You go back to your day, pet. Lord be with you.
And you, Mrs. Duplancy. Here they are.
The vision returns.
I come bearing gifts.
Freshly baked gifts?
Yes. 3 of Mrs. Duplancy's famous Bakewell puddings.
You are an amusing creature, Thomasina.
What do you mean?
You must think me a scoundrel of the highest order for asking you to undertake such folly. Of course I would have lent you my men either way. I merely desired an excuse to share a cake with you.
Lord Panswyck.
I take no pleasure in watching you scurry about Bewlay to fulfill my every whim. Or do I?
I do not find this amusing in the slightest. You have no idea what I had to go through to get these for you.
Oh, I do. And that's what I admire about you. Tenacity. Even in the face of something you know to be absurd. You don't give up, do you?
Never. Though in this case, I ought to have.
Now then, will you share one of these tempting confections with me?
Why not?
Splendid! I'm glad the rain doesn't put you off. You like to live a little dangerously, don't you, Thomasina? Let us stroll to the beck.
That sounds nice. We walked side by side down to the beck, his hand occasionally brushing my own. Despite Lord Panswyck's entertaining company, I had an overwhelming feeling that time was being wasted. We ate those cakes down by the beck, and as he attempted the most charming lines he could muster upon me, I only had one thing on my mind. Father. Could he be saved from his suffering? Was the answer to be found within Hob's Barrow? I ached to find out. didn't even notice the taste of those famous puddings. Seemingly disheartened by my lack of enthusiasm, Lord Panswyck soon marched me back toward the ruined chapel.
Chaps, listen up. You're to assist Miss Bateman's excavation tomorrow. What time, Miss Bateman?
Early morning, if you don't mind.
We'll be there whenever you need us, miss.
Hob's Barrow. On the Bryden estate, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll be there.
Take your tools with you. Miss Bateman will need every assistance we can provide her with.
It's no bother.
Splendid.
Thank you, lads.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll see you later, my dear.
Thank you, Lord Panswyck.
We're finishing up here, miss. See you tomorrow morning, all right?
Certainly. I appreciate your help. Well, that's a relief to have my crew assembled for tomorrow. It's getting dark and cold. Time to head back to the plough and furrow.
Evening, Miss Bateman.
Good evening, Stanley.
Your lordship,
Stanley, my good man.
to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, your lordship?
I've come to wish Miss Bateman good fortune for her grand excavation tomorrow. I'm really rather curious as to what she might turn up.
As am I, your lordship.
An exciting time for Bewlay. Wouldn't you agree, Stanley?
Oh, yes, your lordship. Very, very exciting.
My dear, please, allow me the pleasure of buying you a drink. A welcome antidote to the wind's bite. Wouldn't you say, Stanley?
Yes, indeed, your lordship.
No thanks.
Miss Bateman, you're no fun.
I should keep a clear head for tomorrow.
Good thinking. In that case, I shall bid thee the fondest of farewells. May you conquer Hob's Barrow and find all that you desire.
Thank you, your lordship.
I've reminded my chaps they're to meet you at Hob's Barrow in the morning.
Thank you again, Lord Panswyck.
Till we meet again, faites des beaux rêves. Mr. Shoulder?
Your lordship?
You've changed your tunes, Stanley. An exciting time for Bewlay. I thought you didn't want me to excavate Hob's Barrow.
Well, what can I get you?
I'm fine for now, thank you. Hello again, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman?
I've recruited the help of some local labourers to help with the excavation.
Marvellous. When do we start?
Tomorrow morning, first thing.
Wonderful.
Can I count on your assistance?
Of course. I'll meet you here at the Plough and Furrow.
What else can you tell me about the previous excavation?
I think I covered it earlier, Miss Bateman. As you yourself said, it were a time of superstitious hysteria.
What was it like, living in that period of hysteria?
I kept to myself. It didn't really affect me. My hens stayed healthy and their eggs kept me well fed. If one can keep a level head in such situations, one can get by.
Indeed. Is there anything else I should be aware of before my own excavation? No other ghouls I should be worried about?
Ah, you know the answer to that. The corruption in that soil were all in the minds of men.
Thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Bateman. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Hello there.
Yes?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Ted? Ted Cross?
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
Are you a local, Mr. Cross?
Oh no, I'm just passing through. I'm a musician. Just myself, me guitar and me horse.
Are you a travelling musician?
Aye. I've been playing a new song tonight. I've just finished the lyrics.
What's it about?
You'll have to come listen.
Is that your horse stationed in the alley?
Aye. Thistlecrack is her name.
That's an unusual name for a horse.
Aye, it were what she were called when I bought her. Glutton would be a better name. She likes her treats. But it feels wrong to change it.
What do you make of Bewlay?
Can't say that I know much about this place. I don't usually travel this far south.
I see. Have you heard of a place called Hob's Barrow?
Can't say I have, miss. What is it?
Never mind. Thank you for your time.
Make sure you watch my performance later, won't you?
I'll try. I'll leave those two to them. I'd like to avoid speaking. Maybe she didn't notice that I swapped the herbs, but it's not worth the risk.
Thomasina,
Arthur?
I've remembered something.
What is it, Arthur?
Not here. Meet me outside, in the alley.
He's stinking drunk, but let's hear what he has to say. Hello again, Cyril.
You're still here? Leave me be, lass.
I don't need to use the filthy lavatories. What is it?
First of all, I must apologise to you. That night we met, when I vanished.
Yes?
Well, there were a man in the loo. A hooded man. He threatened me with a beating if I told you anything about what I saw.
Oh, Arthur, that's terrible. What did you see?
That's the thing. I hadn't the foggiest idea what he were on about. It was a drink, you see. I'm an embarrassment, Thomasina.
No, you're not, Arthur.
Here's what I need to tell you. I've remembered what you were on about.
Oh?
Aye. Standing in the woods today, I knew there was something. I waited, I concentrated, and it finally came back to me.
Please, you're keeping me in some serious suspense here.
All right. It were a couple of days before I met you.
Hurry now, Leonard.
I'm not as quick as I used to be. This leg is getting worse by the day.
Yes. I'm constantly made aware of your failing health. Do not fear. You said he has promised you the reward of your returned strength.
Aye, and it can't come soon enough.
Are you sure that it must be her blood?
Aye, she's family.
And she gets here in 2 days?
Aye.
We must bring her to the site as soon as she arrives.
No. Your lordship, with all due respect, we've been through this. We need to ease her into the idea. She would laugh in our faces if we just asked for it.
Who said we would ask?
He told me that she needs to give it willingly.
This little scheme of yours better work, Leonard.
It will, your lordship. We've got the perfect bait.
Wait. Who goes there? Did you hear something? Ah, a moonlight tryst. After something, are you, Mr. Tillett?
Your lordship, let me...
Save your words, you drunken wretch. Off you go, skedaddle. Don't make me ask twice. I do wish you wouldn't spend so much time with that fool. It's beneath a woman of your standard. It's sad, really. That dog urine they serve here has rather pickled the man's brain.
You're being most unfair to him. Mr. Tillett is a nice man.
Come now. I shall bid thee adieu once more, for I do not wish for this to come between us. All the very best wishes for your excavation tomorrow, my dear.
Thanks.
See thee coming with a glint in your shift in the atmosphere as the day fades into night. You won't you learn? You can never turn.
So, Thomasina, the journal proves I'm telling you the truth, does it not?
It does.
Good. Now listen. I can help him again. We can help him. Together.
How?
All those years ago, your father entered this barrow with the goal of binding me within it. All because the people of Bewlay had gotten it into their heads that Sack's not what cause of their plight. I tell you, Thomasina, we're not. Your father botched his incantation, leaving me in this weakened state, stuck in this limbo. As for him, well, you know how he ended up.
This doesn't sound right. Incantations. My father is a man of...
You don't know your father, Thomasina. How old were you? A child of not even 5, 6 years? You need to enter this barrow and undo what your father did. The spell must be undone. Then not only will I regain my strength, but your father will too.
But how do I...
Blood. The truest symbol of life and death. It's the life which flows within you, but it's also death once it escapes.
I don't understand.
Worry not how you'll undo what's been done. When the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do. Time is short. Your father and I grow weaker by the hour. Go. Save your father.
I must undo what has been done. Father, I'm coming. A sturdy-looking thing, useful to many a weary traveller. I've stored my case in a box within. Good morning. Stanley?
Ah, Miss Bateman. Mr. Shoulder left a note for you.
Thank you, Stanley.
Oh, there were a key with it too.
Miss Bateman, I beg you, in the name of God, leave this town.
Father Roach, what is the meaning of this?
There's nowt for you here, lass. Clear off.
I beg you, Miss Bateman.
Father Roche, Mr. Farnaby, here to wish Miss Bateman good luck for her excavation, gentlemen.
Am I heck?
Mr. Kemp, you know...
An excavation strongly supported by Lord Panswyck, no less.
I wish you well with your findings, Miss Bateman. May the Lord strengthen you and guard you from the evil one.
Yeah, little children, guard yourselves from idols.
Good luck, Miss Bateman.
Thank you. I must make haste to Miss... I must... I must make... Hello? It's just a toy. It's... Mr. Shoulder! This key is much too small for the lock. No sign of any movement. What's this? A box. It's locked. Mr. Shoulder, I got your note. Explain yourself. Curses. The key fits. Another one of these peculiar stones. Wait, does this mean Mr. Shoulder was the third man on my father's excavation? There's a note underneath. It's Lord Panswyck's men will be... Good morning, men. Thank you for braving the weather.
Aye, miss. A little rain is no bother. So, may we start?
Yes, we've not a moment to waste. And so, the excavation of Hob's barrow began. Horace and his men learnt quickly and went about their work with care. We toiled for hours, rolling away great stones, removing mortar and masonry put in place by Father, Mr. Bryden and Mr. Shoulder. They had gone to great lengths to seal the barrow. I should have realised their efforts were not only to keep us out, but also to keep something contained within. Eventually, our careful application of pick, trowel and shovel gave way to open space. A stagnant, cadaverous odour was let forth. The seal was broken. I couldn't believe my eyes. Splendid work, all of you.
Step inside, miss. We'll be right behind you.
Thank you, Horace. I can't wait a moment longer. Flowers? I can't get my head around this. How could they possibly grow here? Horace, come see this. Horace? Let's see if I can cut them away. Something has been boarded up here. A passage. Father, I'm coming. Curses. Am I out of paraffin? Thank goodness. My lantern went out, for good this time. I had no choice but to venture forth into the darkness. With each step, the passage narrowed in every conceivable way, until I was on hand and knee, crawling through thick clumps of vegetation. The odour of that dank soil was somehow unnatural. I crawled for an age, until I emerged in a cavern that seemed lit by the very earth itself. Perhaps I can chip away at the edge of the stonework here. Well, the chisel broke, but what have we here? I should take a closer look. 3 niches have been carved into the stone. This stone panel feels firmly affixed. A thin strip of stone. It's a slightly different colour to the rest of the masonry. This stone panel. A thin strip of stone. It's a slightly different colour to the rest of the masonry. What is this place? It's as solid as it looks. A great stone slab of a door. A click. I should take a closer look. Incredible. Oh my! The light! Curses. Goodness me! There's nothing Bronze Age about this. Roman? Ancient Greek? No, this is something else. The figure is presenting what looks like a sheaf of wheat. The figure is holding a whip. The tiles are broken here, exposing the soil beneath. These are all empty.